Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Restyle and Fashion. And over here I love transforming pre-loved and unused items to create fresh, stylish garments that breathe new life into our old wardrobes. And this week I am sharing with you my recent visit to the Goodwill Outlet, and while I was there I found this beautiful burgundy bedsheet. Yes, satin bedsheet. I immediately put it in my cart and I could already see the vision. So today I'm going to take you through that process of how I upcycled a bed sheet. All right, I'll start out by mentioning that this was a satin sheet. And the reason I grabbed it is because the quality of the satin was better than any other satin sheet that I had seen before. Sometimes those satin sheets are really rough. They're kind of textury, they're stiff, but this was good quality satin, like satin you would find in the fabric store. So that's why I went on ahead and I grabbed it. All right, I used a pair of pants that I like the fit of, I like the length of. They fit nice in the hip and the waist, even though we're going to use elastic around the waist. I used that and I traced the front part of the pants and then I cut that out. And then I used the other half of the satin, folded it over, and I cut the other leg. And this just ended up being a lot easier for me because I needed to make sure that I left enough room to be able to make the cowl neck. Now, the cowl neck measurements, I will provide those for you. I had to kind of wing it a little bit because there were some black marks on the fabric that I was trying to avoid. So I had to kind of shift things around a little bit, and I will show you that. But this is the beginning workings of the cowl neck. So what you're going to use is basically a square that you're going to fold in half. Now, what's important is that the fabric that you're using must be drapey. It must be kind of slinky and satiny, and you got to make sure that the fabric has that quality. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. And true to satin fabric fashion, it wrinkles really bad. So I didn't bother pressing it before I started sewing. So that's why you see it's still really wrinkly. All right, so here is me cutting out for the cowl neck top. Again, I will put the measurements below so that you can see that. And this is the piece that I end up with. I did press it. After that, you're going to fold it right sides together. I put a pin in it because satin is slippery. It's sliding all over the place. It's just a headache, but it's so worth it when you get done. All right, so now I'm just, according to my measurements, I'm finding the center so that I can make sure that I sew in the right place. And so according to the measurements you'll see below, you're going to fold that in half, and then you're going to stitch down one side and then stitch down the other side. You're going to trim that excess off, and then you're going to flip it inside out. And once I do that, I flip it around, I push my corners out, as you can see, and then we're going to go to the dress form. You see how easy peasy this is? So now the measurements that I'm giving you are just my measurements. If you are larger or smaller, or you want more drape or less drape, then adjust it that way. Okay. I definitely had to make some adjustments. And then I simply pleated near the bust area, folded it over to give that shape in the front, and then I just cut. That's it. Okay, now I'm gonna make myself some straps. So I cut strips from the fabric to make myself straps to go around the neck and to go around the bottom. And I also ended up creating a waistband for the top as well, because I wanted to have kind of a wide waistband at the bottom of this cowl neck top, because I wanted to wear it more than just with these pants. Like, I wanted to wear it with other skirts, you know, maybe over top some other kind of top. I wanted to keep my options open, so I didn't want to make something that was just too small and confining. So I am making this waistband that is going to go around the bottom of this cowl neck top. Back to the dress form with my waistband. I'm going to take the waistband and start pinning it from the middle all the way around. And I wanted to make sure it was long enough because I did kind of want it to have a little bit of a sash effect, and it was perfect. I did end up adjusting the pleats, or I guess you can call it a pleat or fold, in the bust area because I wanted to have more coverage on the sides. So in the event that I decide to wear this without a bra, I don't have side boob. So I did open up my pleats a little bit. I recommend trying this on a couple of times before you sew everything down. All right, so now I have my placement of my waistband onto the top, and I just stitched it, and then I top stitched it, as you can see here. All right, you guys, somewhere I lost the footage of me inserting the straps to the top portion of the cowl neck top. So I'm just going to talk you through how I did it. You saw in the video I was going to hand stitch it right behind that top corner, but I didn't like the way that looked. So I flipped the cowl neck inside out. I took a few stitches out right there at the top of the tip where the strap should go. I took the strap and inserted it from the inside, pinned it, stitched it down, and then flipped it over so that the strap is coming out of the seam and not just sewn on the back. That just doesn't give a very professional look, and you run the risk of the weight of the fabric kind of pulling the strap, and that doesn't look professional. So, all right. Hope that helps. Let's get back into it. Okay, so now to go over what was missed in the last segment of the video. So here is the front of the bodice. Okay, so this is the front. I've already attached the straps at the top. I'll show you how to do that. But here's the front. Okay, so at the bottom, I attached this band. Now, you saw when I had it on the mannequin, I had right sides together, and I was starting to pin it right in the center. So I pinned it all the way across from one side to the next, and then the other side was folded about an inch, or about maybe like 3/4 of an inch. And so that part, and you can still see it's pressed and folded here. So I matched that up with the stitch that was here on the other side, and then I just sewed right on top. Okay, so that gives us a bit of a band around the waist. Now I did try this on, and I'm gonna switch to my phone in the mirror so that you guys can see what it's starting to look like. But this is me in the mirror trying it on, and as you can see, it looks okay right now. My only concern is having enough coverage over here. So I will probably add another strap right here to the side to tie in the back. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna add another strap. So let me just show you how I added these other straps. So right here at the tip, you saw I was on the mannequin. I pinned this part to the top of the mannequin. Just make sure we're clear here. And here is the strap that I sewed, and I'm literally just putting it right behind the point here. And then I'm going to go in and hand stitch this down. I could stitch it on top, but I really don't want the stitches to be seen. So I'm going to stitch it on the other side. And then I'm going to find the point where I need to add a strap here because I want to pull that so that I have coverage on the sides. All right, so I'm just going to go finish the rest of the band, and then I'm going to sew the pants. Because I was on such a tight timeline, I'm going to tell you a hack that I used. The satin sheets already had a hem in them because you know how sheets have a hem at the top. Well, I used that for the bottom part of the pants. So I did not have to put a hem in the pants. I cut the pants with that hem in mind, and that way I didn't have to sew a hem. So that's why you saw me when I was sewing, there was already a hem in the pants. That's because it was already built in. All right, so now I am pinning my two legs together, starting at the crotch area, and I'm going to pin all the way up the back and then all the way up the front, and then I'm going to stitch that U part, and then I believe I go back and create a waistband for this. That's what I'm doing right here. I create a waistband for the pants, and then I use some elastic. I mean, really, really simple, easy peasy. Like, no, we didn't do darts. We didn't do a formal waistband. We didn't do pleats. We didn't do pockets. I should have done pockets. You should always put your pockets. You should always put pockets in pants and skirts. That's just rule number one. Just always do that. But anyway, this is the waistband. I did put some interfacing on the inside, on the front, so that the front of the pants would lay nice and flat, especially because I do have that cummerbund type waistband on the top, and I didn't want any extra bulk, so I made sure that the front of the pants laid flat and have that interfacing there to keep that area nice and stiff and flat. Again, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it with just elastic all the way around and not worry about putting any interfacing in. The elastic will be, you know, if you use 1 or 1.5 inch elastic, you should have no problem at all. So I put that on there, I sewed it up, and then I put my elastic in. I did stitch down the elastic on the sides to make sure that the elastic wouldn't move around. I didn't film that because it's just basic elastic insertion. All right, we are almost ready for the reveal. I hope you guys enjoy, and maybe you'll try this. We started with a bed sheet and then created this fabulous two-piece set. And I'll tell you, I have gotten so much wear out of this because of the color and because of the fabric. So the pants I've worn with different tops, they're perfect for the holiday. They're perfect pairing with black. So with this like black jacket, and then I belted it. I also paired the pants with like a leopard color top, which leopard and red, it looks really nice together. So I've been really pleased with this. I hope this sparked your creativity, and I hope that you will try something similar. All right, you guys, see you next week. Bye.